All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Great Teacher Onizuka, episode 42. All right.
Okay.
Yes.
So, we had quite the episode, last episode.
Quite so.
But now it seems like, you know, with the foreshadowing with Kikuchi and everything, that they're maybe going to get into some Miyabi focus, you know?
Yeah, if they have this episode be partially about the trip returning, and how Miyabi reacts to how different everyone is on return.
Yeah.
There'd be some really cool, immediate 1-2 ways that they can segue this into an Aizawa-based aspect of her feeling left out. Because
and potentially her home life, you know?
Potentially her home life, but the thing is that short of what they did in the very first, like, not even, like, near necessarily canon first episode of this whole show, they would need to have something that dramatic. Like, freaking Onizuka would have to, like, come to her house, do something completely stupid, and it would have to, like, instantly solve all the problems, because Aizawa's thing is more complicated than most of the other problems we've had here, and we still don't know exactly the full ramifications of the incident.
And thankfully they have 2 episodes, so if they wanted to have one episode where it's like dramatically like bringing the problem to light, you know, then maybe they could like
even backstory tease the incident in the last episode, and finish everything in one episode. I feel like this is going to be a read the manga kind of ending.
It could be. I feel like
43 episodes also feels a little bit, you know, like odd of a number,
and it could also be that they make headway with Aizawa, and it's like Aizawa starts to realize, okay, maybe Onizuka isn't all that bad, but it's not fully resolved yet.
Right, vice principal levels of movement and progression. It's something where it's like, maybe I could
someday
I could be finding that I could find that zeal for teaching, and then Onizuka crashes in him, tramples him nearly half to death. We'll see, y'all. But hey, it's Onizuka, second to last episode. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Just the looks on Onizuka's face, like, they're so priceless. Like, the way he just thinks he's so cool. He's like, I am on the top of the world.
It's also funny because it starts off with him basically looking like he's just out drunk, and then his body, like, his spirit, like, leaves his body, you know? Basically, like, he's dead, and he's having his out-of-body experience, and his out-of-body experience is just realizing, I'm a cool guy. Too many cool girls and stuff, but they're not for me. Oh, no.
Lonely.
I need to be a hero here. Yeah. Lonely. Like, he believes in his own persona he's built up over the series.
Exactly.
Lonely. He's like, I am the great teacher Onizuka.
I mean, that is how it started, you know. Him proudly shonen protagonist-wise declaring that I am the hero of justice, and, you know.
That person is the only one who can make my heart hot. Love me. Kiss me. Oh, and then he realizes that the ideal girl
what means love
is just constantly out of his reach. She's a fiction.
Do you know how love song goes on? And maybe waking up to the everyday life.
Sure. Wait, what? Wait. What? Oh, shoot. What is going on? I mean, this is a way to accelerate things quickly, but was this the previous teacher?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh my god. Wow.
Okay. Oh my god.
Hey, there we go.
では次のニュースです。昨夜遅く、都内の私立黎明女子中学教諭斉藤昇さん24歳が自宅で何者かの胸を刺されました。
去年の私たちの
Whoa.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Like I figured they'd have to do something dramatic to
Yeah.
bring it up, but
鬼塚先生にもお話ししておくべきだと思いましてね。クラスの女子生徒との関
Yeah.
係で一部の
Holy
マスコミにより
crap.
表面化して横山瑞希という大変優秀ないつも
Whoa.
笑顔の絶えない生徒でしたが
the very
転
thing
校した
that
のです。
the very thing that Onizuka was
Yeah.
あのクラスが担任いじめを始めたのは多分斉藤先生が辞めるときに言った一言のせいです。
Not his
彼は
actions,
噂になっ
but
た責任を取ると言って辞表を出しましたが、横山瑞希との関係については公の場で否定したのです。
oh, so he threw under the
横
bus
山さんが何も
essentially.
言わなかったため、斉藤先生は胃がん退職ということで落ち着きました。
And then she
まさか他の学校で教師を続けていたとは思いませんでしたけどね。
Whoa.
鬼塚先生、本当に教師と生徒は難しいものです。生徒に信頼されていればいるほど、その一言が生徒たちの心に
That's just
大きな傷を作ってしまうのですから。
The closer you are, the more opportunity there is for hurt.
本当にそれだけならいいけどね。
Wow.
みやび
Just cold.
休みみたいね。
Kikuchi with the Gendo
Yeah, yeah,
Akari
uh-huh.
look.
と言えるかしら。
Time to use my plot-breaking computer. Let's go.
落ち着けよみんな。
Oh,
今変に騒ぎになった
Kikuchi
ら
the
逆に
leader.
まずい。
Mhm.
そうだろ。
問題はマンションから逃げた若い女が誰かということだ。
ええ、何しろ元聖林学園2年4組横山瑞希は自殺していますからな。
まったく迷惑な話だよ。それを我々が取り繕ったそばから自殺するとは。
まあそっちの方は新聞を抑えることで
スキャンダルの目は確実に潰しておいてくれ。
Holy crap.
dang.
クラス全員の意見を表示してたら時間かかっちゃって。
よしじゃあ先生も手伝おっか。
やった
Oh.
実はね。
She tells Aizawa about,
Mhm.
you know, their relationship and stuff.
Yeah.
冬月ちゃんはみんなと一緒に相沢さんを探して。はい。
Dramatic.
Yeah,
Hair
what was
blowing.
what was the decision for that? Just-
おかけになった電話番号は電波の届かない場所にあるか電源が入っていないためかかりません。
Just reminding us that she's this biker racer badass. It's just
Right,
like,
right.
yes.
携帯の方は。
I love how Yoshikawa is
Yeah.
taking her there.
飲めよ。裏切られたんだあいつら。信頼している教師に。あいつら。それがいいやつだったんだってよ。
Right. So the upper, you know, people, they got to him and said you have to deny it. Otherwise it'll make your life a hell. You know.
Yeah.
調べてみた。
どういうこと？
あんな噂をマスコミに立てられた教師が普通簡単に別の私立に採用されるはずがない。
Yeah.
案の定、強力な推薦者がいた。教育委員会のトップだ。
Okay.
For the country.
斉藤はあの時、俺たちに横山瑞希と真剣に付き合っていると言った。
Yeah.
許されないことは分かっている。だが、たとえ何を言われようと戦っていくと、それがなぜ土壇場で裏切ったのか。圧力さ。
Yep, he was
横山と
threatened.
斉藤の関係が写真週刊誌にすっぱ抜かれたのも、彼女が昨年日本で行われた子供の権利を守る世界会議で中学生の代表として参加するはずの優等生だった。
Wow.
No wonder the vice principal's
poor
always
vice
so
principal,
stressed
yeah.
out. Yeah.
成績優秀な中学生がその担任とできている。彼女を大会に推薦していた教育委員会だ。原因は丸つぶれだからだ。それで斉藤に美味しい話を持ちかけて取引したんだろう。
Yep.
あのさ、私今どこからかけてるかわかる？ここお墓なんだ。それともう一つ。さっきお母さんに話聞いてきたんだけどさ。
しか
ごめん。
Okay, things are moving. Let's go.
Yeah.
彼女赤ちゃんできてたんじゃないかって。ちなみにちょっと前に同じ話を聞いていったって宮城も。
Yep.
Yeah, that's crap. Oh man.
村井、都庁第二庁舎わかるか？あ、そこ
Wait.
に教育委員会が。
Oh shoot. Oh.
とにかく相沢を止める。
Oh crap.
おい、大丈夫か？
Yeah. Okay.
Good call. Call
Yeah.
his friend. Yeah.
ああ、冬月ちゃん。永吉ならここで死んでますけど。
Puke it up. Oh man. Oh man.
なあ、永吉。おめえはいい先行だよ。
Oh. All right. All right. Let's go.
Okay.
辞めたと思っていた斎藤が実は今でも教師をしているのを何かで知ったんだ。
Oh shoot. Aizawa.
Mm-hmm.
誰だね。
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
私たちは斎藤は斎藤先生が大好きだった。みんなそう思って
お前か。斉藤先生を指したのは。
Oh my god.
こんなことをしたらお前も終わりだぞ。
たかもね。でも水木よりはマシ。
Oh.
私は何も。
少女。
鬼っすか。
おとなしくお縄につき。
離せ。
おいおい、何だ君は。
聖林学園3年4組担任鬼塚永吉22
22 years old.
よろしく。
Oh. Oh, that was gut wrenching. Why are you talking?
その必要はねえ。こいつの身柄は俺が責任を持って預かる。
Oh,
君に何ができると言うんだ。
I'll take full responsibility.
Yeah, because he's the thug. Wait. Oh.
Kids shouldn't use knives.
どうしようと俺の勝手だって言って。
Holy crap.
まあそれでも教師か。
当たってこいや。俺や相沢。
Oh, she's just dead.
脅されるぞガキは。
女の子連れ込んで変なプレイするつもりじゃないだろうな。
ありがとう。
気持ちいいでしょうね。
お前斉藤のことを本当にやったのか。どうなんだ。
様子を見に行った。そしたらあいつ生徒に囲まれてワイワイやってて。どうせあんたも私がやったと思ってるんでしょ。それでいいわよ。それで。
いつまでもいじけてんじゃねえよ。早く入れといてくれや。
I thought this was all set up for her.
Yeah, no.
Wait.
仮にも教育委員会の方に暴行を加えるとは。
我々の要望は2つ。相沢雅を至急警察に出頭させること。当理事の一人に暴行を加えた鬼塚教諭を即時逮捕すること。
共に連絡が取れております。取れ次第事情を聞いてそれから対処したいと思います。
私が
Oh yeah.
もしそちらの要望に添えないとお答えしたら、
残念ながら聖林学園の経営資格を停止することになる。
じゃあ私のローンは
Of the crest up, probably.
ご理解いただけなかったですが、これは命令です。
Wow.
We have a setup.
Wow.
Finale.
That is a part 1, baby.
Yeah.
That is a part 1. Whoa.
Now, the abrupt nature just suddenly starting this like arc, if you will, or
But
this...
the way they gave us the reasons that it suddenly came to fruition and whatnot. So,
right.
Yeah.
And I've been waiting for this for like forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
But holy
there's
crap.
no way they can resolve it in one episode.
I did not think that it would be something like that.
No, me neither. It changes the whole look we have on Class 3-4. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Because here's the thing. if they actually had a great teacher, like they had a wonderful teacher that all up until the very last minute basically says, yeah, I don't care about any of you. Because by him throwing her under the bus, he's basically saying...
The one he cared about most, yeah.
Well, no, yes, obviously because he cared about her the most. But what it is basically saying that whenever it comes down to my career versus being honest and truthful to you, I will 100% choose my career, which is such an about face in terms of like, you know, who he was, that it was like, it violated everything they had known about him. An example would be like, let's say Onizuka fell in love with Kanzaki, basically.
Right, Well, and the thing is that I could see the teacher having, like, not thought that it would have meant much to the students.
Okay.
Wow.
So in terms of the complicated nature of the story, just kind of set up and just delivered to us, stellar. Absolutely stellar.
Absolutely amazing. Like,
yeah.
Ugh.
Like, I have...
Whoa.
I have missed this part of Onizuka. Like, it's been a while, it feels like, since we've had the... A student is in genuine, like... Trouble.
Yeah.
Onizuka, we need you to pull a miracle here.
Exactly.
And that's basically what we have.
Yeah.
We have the perfect setup for an impossible situation. Like, this is literally like the the Board of Education. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob, but that's for the country of Japan.
Yeah.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong here, but these guys are so powerful.
Because they were saying, we'll just revoke your license.
Well,
that's
something the chairwoman could do.
No. The license for the school.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about Onizuka.
Oh, no. Yeah. Firing Onizuka. No.
No. I'm thinking the chairwoman could basically, with her own influence, could basically say,
like,
Onizuka, make him never teach again.
Right. Exactly.
But they're basically saying, no, we will end your school.
Right.
We will end your very prestigious school because of this one thing.
Yep.
So they are trying to flop their dicks onto the table and be like make a move.
This is Onizuka versus Japan. Like
versus corrupt political educators, basically.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. But in many ways it's the kind of like high adrenaline escapade that they kind of showcase in the OP.
Yes.
You know, that maybe Onizuka kind of like dreams about him doing because he is
fighting
the great
against the
teacher
shadowy
Onizuka.
Organization.
Exactly, yeah.
Saving a girl.
Yep.
And that does kind of fit. Now here's something that's really, really they pulled out all the stops for, I would say specifically with Aizawa here, was you think about her character up until this point.
Yeah.
And her character has been unreasonably unreasonably hateful towards Onizuka. Now here's something that is interesting here.
Yeah.
I thought it was because they had a really, really bad teacher back in the day.
Exactly.
Now they flipped that whole thing on its head by having it be, no, they had a very good teacher that betrayed them at the last minute.
Right.
Now, here's the thing that's important, though. Because of it not being just the betrayal, but what Miyabi's friend ended up suffering through because of this.
Right.
This is something where it goes beyond just the teacher aspect. And I think they're actually setting up something to where it's actually something that Aizawa is particularly afraid of.
Okay.
So, her best friend, God, her name was...
Mizuki.
Mizuki, thank you.
Yeah.
Her best friend was basically this just wholesome goodness character.
Right.
She falls in love with a teacher. Ooh, risque and not very taboo, you know? But the teacher is also giving the... like, not only the promises to her of like, no, I'm serious with this. He's promising the class and saying,
I'm not going to back down. Like, this is fine.
Like, I'm not trying to keep this a secret even.
Right.
Like,
exactly. Like,
I'm serious about this. Now, the weird thing about this, though, is he then basically put them all in his confidence, basically saying like, hey, like,
you can depend on me.
You can depend on me.
Yeah.
But the thing is that I think if he had done the thing of, I have to distance myself from this, otherwise I will get absolutely destroyed by the Board of Education, and communicated that with them. And then he basically goes into this kind of quiet, you know, exchange of information, kind of contact communication with her, and maybe in some ways, risks his whole career because of this. It would have been so much easier. Because of when she realized that she was pregnant, and instead of having people
Feeling
shaming her,
and,
feeling alone or anything like that, she would have had at the very
Yep.
least the teacher there. Because what I think is kind of scary here is that Mizuki didn't feel like she could even rely on her class. Like this is the part that's really this is the part that's actually kind of scary here, I think, for just Aizawa specifically, is that Aizawa lost a friend because of this whole sequence of events.
Right.
I don't think she's logically broken down exactly who is to blame. She just has a lot of emotion about this.
She
whole
figured
thing.
out a couple people.
Well, just recently she figured
right,
it out.
yes. But before that,
it was a general dislike field thing, an anti-magnet, kind of, thing. Just repel.
An EM field, sure.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they literally had the board of
they had, and Kikuchi was doing.
Well, he always does that.
Right. But then in addition to that, they had the whole with the long shadows and everything, and
instead of it being like a dark room, it was like overly bright.
Right, exactly.
So
White light and everything.
Blinding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to make a mention.
Oh
of that,
no, I know. My mind was totally there too, which makes it even more awesome that Onizuka is going against them.
Right.
Like,
yeah, we're talking about NGE. If those of you have
exactly.
no idea what we're talking about. But okay, so my final thing is just that Aizawa is not just mad at them.
Mm-hmm.
She is hurt and also feels betrayed slightly by her best friend, because her best friend didn't come to her. Her best friend didn't rely on her, and instead felt so alone that she took her own life. Like, y'all, like,
and
this is
her kid. Like,
yes, but this is something that is devastating to a young person, like to anyone, but I would say especially to a young person who has that connection with someone, and then when someone basically does that, what it communicates to them is that you basically is Aizawa in this case, you are incapable of helping me. And so Aizawa has probably been questioning this whole time, what could I have done? Was there something I could have done? I was the best friend. I should have been there for her. She blames herself.
Yep.
I would say far more than anyone else there, because she can't direct it. Up until recently. That's when she went on this, I'm going to kill them. Like,
yeah, exactly. And the thing is that, like,
because she's been festering in self.
Right. And it wasn't just that her friend killed herself, because if it was just that, and she had a bunch of other people being like, oh my god, that's awful, we can't believe that happened, we messed up, blah blah blah, all this stuff, then she might have been able to process it. But the fact that it's all like covered up, like the death wasn't even in the papers, like the fact that they had to, like, that Aizawa probably had to, like, go visit, like the mom, and and go to her house and basically be like, oh yeah, I'm here to, I haven't heard from her in a long time, is she home right now?
Yeah,
it's
she
like
sends a text, and the mom texts back being like, haven't you heard?
Yeah, exactly. Like the fact that the other people in the class had to go to the gravesite in order to find out that she was actually dead.
Yeah, or do some Googling and stuff. Yeah.
Like that's that's fair point. But it's the whole thing that she said of, you didn't just kill my friend, you tried to erase her existence.
Yep.
Like that's
that was someone commenting on what it must be like for Aizawa, though.
But it wasn't Aizawa who said it?
Yeah, it was either Kanzaki saying it or Kikuchi saying it.
But
Kanzaki and Kikuchi were on point this episode.
Yes, absolutely.
With deducing all the things.
Yep,
and in some ways, they were a rapid fire form of exposition for us to get caught up to things, because there are a couple timeline things that I'm not 100% on, basically. One of them is that the incident happened a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
But when did her friend kill herself?
Recently.
Really recently?
recently-ish, you know.
Right, but there's a couple of things that happened.
Well, okay,
around that
we know she was pregnant. We know she was pregnant, so it was within 9 months of the scandal.
Well, that's the thing, Jacob, is that if they had no contact from an incident a year ago, are you saying that they had sex in between this year?
No. I'm saying that they had sex while they were going out.
Right.
She got pregnant. She didn't know about it. The scandal happened. That thing, it all blew up.
Which means she committed suicide minimum 3 months ago.
Right.
But it was probably way more before that.
Sure. Yeah. Probably. I would guess probably somewhere between like 3 and 6 months ago.
Okay. So that doesn't seem that recent though.
Right. But yeah, enough for them to have covered it up and for it to have been a thing that happened.
Yeah.
And again, like the fact that it was minimum 3 months ago, Aizawa just found out.
That's the thing that I'm not 100% on, because there's some other things that Aizawa did that just happened off screen. One was she went to go check up on the teacher because she found out also off screen that he was still teaching.
Right.
Remember?
Yeah.
And that
so she didn't necessarily find out 3 months ago. It could have been over like a process, because she found out that the guy was teaching. She went and like sat in on a class or whatever.
Yeah.
She found out who it was that recommended him for that job.
There's a lot of things that Aizawa did off screen that makes the timeline a little bit tricky to understand. But I get that the gist of what happened in the past, the things that happened in between the incident and now, though, are a little bit like
a
little bit foggy to me.
I think it's supposed to be foggy, and it's just that stuff happened over the course of time, and it's come to a head now.
Yes, it's coming to a head now. Aizawa
got all that information. She got, the targets, basically.
See, this is another thing. Jacob. What? Because she went also to the graveyard. I should almost double check this just right now, but because she went to the graveyard, I think she was saying basically that it was either the anniversary of the incident, or is the anniversary of of her death.
I don't think that was ever mentioned.
Okay, so the way this starts out, this is killing me here.
Right. So
she committed suicide at the end of last year. So yes, she committed suicide right after the incident happened. So it was a while ago.
No,
Jacob.
I mean the incident probably would have been in the middle of the year.
Jacob, Jacob, last year meaning school year.
Yeah, no, I know.
So
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
This was before Onizuka showed up at all.
Yes. Right. So at maximum it was a year ago.
Yes.
When she committed suicide, at absolute maximum. But given I can't remember when they said the Okinawa trip was, but
okay, then here's another way to look at it. It's not summer yet, but it basically is summer. So
oh wait, no, at the end of last year. No, she would be talking about the actual calendar year. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because she transferred to another school. I can't remember whether they said that was forced or not.
Okay.
But yeah. Right. So yeah, so it would have been about, 3 to 6 months ago. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, wow.
Yeah. All right. But Aizawa's portrayal, the voice acting, everything here
was all
done
stellar.
really well. It was really good. There's a part that I was so into the scene that I didn't really give it the proper credit it deserved during the reaction, but Aizawa's screams here when she's freaking out, because she's in a little bit of a cold killer mode of, I'm not going to feel anything.
Right,
so
exactly.
it's fine here. But then there's a part where Onizuka basically grabs her, disarms the knife, and she's just like, hey, leave me alone. And he bakas her and slaps her in the face. Yeah. And then at that point, then she turns basically, angry.
And he grabs her.
Her. Onizuka flips the guy off.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Greetings.
But then when everyone else is showing up, this is part of the thing that I think reveals the guilt Aizawa feels and stuff like that. Is that maybe she feels like everyone else should blame her a little bit also as well. Because I think it's once everyone else shows up that she's angry that they're all there. She then panics and is like, no, let me go. Like, please, I don't want to be here. This is the last place I want to be.
I hate adults. I don't trust adults.
And she's just screaming. Her screams were like Azula level, like, you know, just...
Yeah. For a second there, I was wondering if Onizuka was just gonna stab the guy. like not to kill him, but just to be like, I'm the one who assaulted you. I'm the one who assaulted the other guy. What are you talking about? She didn't do anything. Yeah, arrest me. Okay. You know.
I mean, I think Onizuka is a little bit smarter than that.
Well, right, but in the style of like, yes, I used to be in a gang. I'm going to, even if it wasn't like a, you know, like like that crazy of a gang or whatever. But like, I'm going to take the fall. You know.
Right, and I think that's basically what he's doing here. Is he didn't touch the guy at all. Oh wait, that's not true.
He grabbed him by the shirt.
He grabbed him by the shirt, but he didn't hurt the guy at all.
Yeah.
The guy's faking the broken arm. Like,
right.
There's literally nothing that happens in here that should have given him a broken arm.
Right. He was leaning on both his arms just fine.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. I just love that we get great teacher Onizuka back here, but that there's this potentially really complicated, like, painful stuff going on in Aizawa that's not fully explored yet.
Right, because the thing is that what they'd done with Aizawa and the way Aizawa like talked about, you know, what happened and all that stuff, and I wasn't sure if it would be able to live up to the hype behind it.
Yes,
because the thing is that when you're a kid, you know, when you're younger, you know, it's easy for things to be everything to you when like
blown out of proportion,
right? You know, where maybe when you're older you'd look back and be like, okay, that wasn't that big of a deal, right? And that doesn't make it any less valid, because it's still the, you know, it's, you know, you're still a person just as much as, you know, you are when you're older, right? But as for like, oh, how crazy and insane it was to justify all of this you know, vitriol that Aizawa has towards teachers,
for sure.
I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to really have that hit home, but wow.
Yeah, they did a really good job at that. And I think that's a testament specifically to how they write these students' problems to be things that make sense as being legitimate problems.
Yes.
One, so they're not kid things blown out of proportions. It's kids having to deal with adult situations and just being unprepared for it because they're kids.
And in a lot of ways, the adults not helping them deal with it because they don't maybe treat it as a legit thing as it should be, because but they're still kids.
Or they discount the messenger because it's a kid.
Yep.
This is something that I really loved in the Yoshikawa stuff in the very early bits, is that you see Yoshikawa getting bullied and stuff like that, and just nothing from teachers and stuff like that. But then you have Onizuka show up, and he basically has this oddly aggressive way of getting into Yoshikawa's life business and everything, and treating everything really seriously, to the point where Yoshikawa ends up kind of laughing at this whole thing. But with Aizawa, like, he comes into this whole thing, he understands the power dynamic, he understands the relational dynamic, he understands Aizawa's anger, and in some ways he channels it a little bit, even down to the little finger flipping him off like kind of thing. But the thing that I like about Onizuka is that even when he could try to do the whole bravado kind of tough guy stare down the other guy kind of thing, he
focuses on Aizawa.
He actually focuses on Aizawa. This is something that I've seen a lot of times happen when kids have a problem, is they discount the kid as actually being someone that they can help. The idea is that they attack the problem. Here's a thing that I really feel like anytime kids generally have some kind of issue, it's usually because of some type of negative emotion overcoming them in the instance, and it really almost has, like, it's not that the problem doesn't exist, it's something that the kid is a higher priority than the problem itself. The problem is valid, the problem is real for the most part. I mean, there's kids that drop like a juice pop and their world ends, you know, or something like that. But treating the kid's actual emotional state as being valuable in addition, I would say, to the actual problem. Like in this case, we have a very complicated problem here, so I'm being very specific there. But Aizawa, emotionally, mentally, and just who she is as a person, needs to be taken care of, needs to be helped. There needs to be attention given to that.
Right.
And I think what a lot of kind of situations like this, if it became an adult problem, basically, where, you know, the vice principal or something like that would get involved, they would go after the source and stuff like that and be like, there, Miyabi, it's going to be okay. And then they would just leave and they'd move on. Like Miyabi would have to sit there with the guilt and all the other stuff and basically just be left alone to think about, okay, but it still happened. Like, I still was affected by this.
Right.
Onizuka is the kind of person that, like, slaps you in the face, comes in there, grabs you, and is like, hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Like, chill. We got this. I'm with you. I'm with you. We can do this. And then he goes and attacks the problem.
Right.
Like, I love the order of operations here.
And in the case of this particular problem, it might not have been something where the problem was able to be attacked because it was all brushed under the rug. You know, just sort of pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
And even if in the school itself, they still think, oh, okay, I guess that, you know, the teacher was reprimanded and all that stuff, and well, he's not really going to be working anywhere else and whatnot. But and that's that, you know. And I guess he was just an asshole to deny it, right?
Right.
But then it's like, well, no, not quite. Like, yeah. Because the idea of then like because it's not just because then it becomes less something of you can't talk about it because we're brushing this under the rug. It's well, that officially didn't happen, so do you want to be the one to open that bag of worms and say that it did happen?
Yeah.
You know, like, are you really going to do that? I expected better. You know, like right. that social pressure to yeah.
I really loved how everyone just sprung to action here.
Yes.
We've had a lot of time to develop these characters, and while right now they just kind of fulfill their caricature roles at this point.
Kikuchi and Kanzaki are smart, that kind of thing.
It's something where I appreciate how they're basically utilizing the characters as tools in the plot in ways that make sense for their characters.
Right.
It's something that I wish the show was more consistently adept at.
Yeah.
It's something that they pull out all the stops for when it's a really important character arc centric around the central to a primary antagonist, if you will, to Onizuka. But even for Aizawa, like, they made us really sympathetic to her really quickly.
Yeah.
Like this is something that I rarely seen in shows, is where they do such a good job of showcasing there's always two sides to a story kind of thing.
Yep.
Most shows that have some kind of drama-centric plot or narrative, they still establish the whole, there's just there's you know, everyone's human beings and stuff like that, but there's clearly like a good person or bad person. Well, and in this they have it in the board of directors
definitely.
For education, absolutely.
But it's such a switch of what you would traditionally expect. Like, if this was a cop show, right? If this was a cop show, it would be like, maybe this person was an asshole, but you still broke the law and all that stuff, and, you know, you're doing all this stuff and you need to be locked away, you know. Whereas in this, it's no, there's this person that's hurting and needs to have someone actually talk to them and you know and tell them that it's going to be okay, and
but we have also the chairwoman actually somewhat powerless to do anything here,
but still being a badass and being like, yes, we will, once we find them, we will, you know, make sure that we hear their side of the story and whatnot. And
it's a proper way to build up our new antagonist.
Yes.
She has been the iron wall of Briggs,
basically,
you know, up until this point. And to see her just kind of stand her ground and stand up proud,
right,
but also being like, my knees are trembling. Like,
the one,
this
like,
is
one person standing in the middle of a hurricane, like,
right. The vice principal having a conniption because of his loan. No, I need this job.
My loans.
Like,
I'm not sure whether he was talking about my loan, like my loan on the Cresta, or my loan, like I'm still paying off my college debt. Like,
I don't know if education works the same way in Japan as it does.
Probably
in the
not.
US.
Probably not. But
yeah.
But that was also a great way to sort of showcase why the vice principal is so high strung all the time, because they had this fiasco just like, a year ago, and he was the one who at the gate when all the reporters came in and was like, "Can you tell us about the
that?" Yes.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, he's weathered many storms, but it takes the years off of a guy. The big thing I'm hoping for the final episode of Great Teacher Onizuka here is that we have a proper Onizuka miracle, or they have it be an actual, like, go read the manga ending with him being fired.
I could see that happening.
Now, here's something that I think would be really cool if they go the whole fired route.
Mm-hmm.
Still have him pull the miracle off, but it's not an impossible miracle. It's more of a respectable one,
right?
Because what he could do, this is something that'd be a little crazy, but they could have it be a thing of where he basically does the exact opposite of what the previous homeroom teacher did. He gives a speech to his class at the end, and it's basically one about every theme in this show coalesced into one perfect thing about telling them about how he's always going to be their teacher, even if he's not their actual homeroom teacher.
Sure.
Because here's what I like about this specifically, is that if Onizuka doesn't have a reason to come to class and stuff, can you imagine him being the weirdo that, like, comes and, like, hangs out at, like, the noodle place and invites basically all the students to come there and talk about their day and their lives and stuff, and he basically just gives them, like, solid lessons and stuff, and he goes back to working with his buddy? Like, that'd be awesome. That'd be a whole new, like, arc of story where maybe he has to go and maybe he has to go and find another job, but it's a convenient job that's not a teacher, but he gets to be a janitor, or like, at the school.
He mans the cafeteria.
There's all kinds of things they could do.
Yep. Exactly.
I love that picture of Onizuka being at the school but not being a teacher, but actually being a teacher.
And,
you know what I mean?
And the chairwoman basicly being like, okay, we did fire Onizuka,
from this teaching position.
From his teaching position, and she knows that they won't look. They won't go and look through the employee registry to see.
No one cares about that.
No one cares about
and
that.
No one at the school is gonna make a big, like,
exactly.
He's still there.
Yeah. And that can be something where even the vice principal is like, damn it, Onizuka, that was good on you. I still hate that you make my life, horrible like this, but good on you.
I think if he's like a janitor or something like that, he'll, like, walk past Onizuka and he'll do the little anime turn thing where he'll be like, Onizuka, I thank you for what you've done for these kids. I'll find a good replacement. And then he'll be like, it's nothing. And he'll be like, and then they'll just keep going separate ways. But if they go the route where Onizuka pulls the most bombastic, ridiculous miracle, and he somehow finds a way to make this work, he's going to pull the biggest, like, Kanzaki Kikuchi, like, think tank group together, and they're going to make, like, their own scandal against them and then leverage them out.
That's what I was thinking. When because as soon as I saw Kanzaki with a phone, I'm like, okay.
She's terrifying with any piece of technology.
And especially like her and Kikuchi, like, and Onizuka. Because Onizuka
and maybe even the chairwoman, maybe she'll be like, I don't
know about anything like that. I totally don't have some information about how he, like, maybe goes on certain vacations to the red light district. I don't know. Nope, I've never heard anything about that.
There's a whole lot of things that they could do there. If they could pull it off in one episode, though, I would be a bit surprised, because generally when they do the kind of miracle type things that Onizuka does, it's usually done in about 2 or 3 episodes. But the thing is that if it's an episode where it's a miracle regarding Aizawa, this is the one where they could do it in one episode.
And that would also make it a very fitting time to end at 43 episodes, because they basically do this thing, and maybe, I would hate to think about this, but it could be that in the manga, he then goes to a different school.
Who knows?
Like, just like with the first episode, he went to that school and he was there, and then he left, Who knows?
Yeah, I think, though, that if he ends up getting kicked out of the school or anything like that, he wouldn't be teaching anymore. So he needs to win on two fronts.
Right.
And not, well, it's more like he needs to not lose on two fronts. He can have a neutral victory in one and a victory in another, but he can't like win-lose. He has to somehow grab a neutral thing on at least maybe the teaching thing and then win with Aizawa, or have will work on the things with Aizawa and they win on the teaching side of things, or winning on both.
But if he wins on both, that would be awesome. And
if he does,
they have a whole episode to do it. Is the thing? Like,
I'm telling you, like, if they do it in one episode, I'm gonna be astonished.
Just saying,
I would love that.
Watch, we get to the last episode and it's like a double length episode, like the first episode is, and then it's just.
I want to check right now. I can just look at the thing and see if it's
regular episode.
It's a regular length.
But still, it's a full episode to do it because they like everything is set up here. Like, there's no more setup that needs to happen. It's just execution. So,
y'all. I'm hyped. So, y'all, if you want to see that next episode's reaction, the final Great Teacher Onizuka episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about stories about Great Teacher Onizuka, non-spoiler, of course, or just anime in general or whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.